Well, after a big week of nationals and racing all around Australia, our focus this week in WA turns to Mandurah for the Peter Thomas Heats. Hello and welcome to the Wednesday preview. I'm your host, Troy Iwanyk. Unfortunately, no James Broadhurst this week, but let's get into the first heat. Well, what an incredible opening heat of the Peter Thomas, an incredible field. Shy Emoji off the red, loves the draw, capable of running home very strongly. Kuro, this greyhound, loves Mandurah, and the two should suit him well. He's an up-and-coming young greyhound. Daddy's Girl, coming off the National Series, this greyhound's racing really well at Northern. Can it bring the form back down to Mandurah again? Mustang Timmy, well, this greyhound, a greyhound on the rise, been doing good things, showing good talent. He could be the smoky off the five here with a clean run, so do not discount Mustang Timmy. Peppy, well, we talk about this greyhound a lot, particularly in the same vein as Sunset Tyson. They do what they do. Peppy, capable at best with the right run. He did win the Express Stake final last week over the 400. With the right run here, he could be right into this race, but he does need to begin at his best and be on his best. And Crumble Manali off the pink. Now, this is a greyhound I really want to talk about. Crumble Manali, we've mentioned in weeks gone by that he just wasn't showing that customary burst of speed once he came out the boxes. Yes, he was coming out clean and showing good box speed, but his acceleration wasn't quite there. Last week we saw him really accelerate once he hit the ground. Dominant display in the race to win it over the 400. He comes into this race this week off the pink over 488. That's going to be a bit more of a challenge for him. Getting across from the pink could be the question mark, but if he does show that early burst of speed and we see the Crumble Manali of old, like we did last week, he could put himself right into this race. So I think Crumble Manali is probably the one that you really want to focus on here and keep an eye on, because at his best, we know how talented this greyhound is. Beyond that, I think keep Mustang Timmy safe, keep Kuro safe, and Shy Emoji off the red. We just know this greyhound loves a red draw, so keep it very safe as well. But Crumble Manali for me in the first heat. So let's move on to the second heat now, race 5 on the card. And this is another amazing heat. The standout for me here is Bezecchi. We know how good this Paul Stewart trained greyhound is. He races in terrific fashion. The question mark on him is his early pace. He's not brilliant, and that was always going to be a question as he gets into the tougher racing and goes up in grade. We know he's capable of running home so strong. He just needs to get that run through from box 4 here on Saturday night. Now let's look at the other runners though in this race. Wise Barra off the red hasn't been beginning as well, but it is very capable. It will need to begin at its best in this race to be right into it. Bergelmere, we know this greyhound is capable. Does need to probably improve on recent performances to be in this race, but thereabouts, keep it safe. Sunset Comanche off the 6 could be thereabouts in this as well. Chef's Kiss can show good early pace and is a greyhound on the rise. If it does get to the lead or near the lead, is a greyhound that you'd want to be keeping very safe in the market. I wouldn't let that one get too far off. But for me, the big one is Bezecchi. He just needs to find a clean run through at some point. That's going to be the big question for him. If Wise Barra does begin and it's Wise Barra and Bezecchi going head to head, I'd want to be leaning towards Bezecchi, but he needs a clean run. So Bezecchi on top for me in this one. But if you do like something, as I always say, have a play, because if he does get hampered early and doesn't get through the field, it could be anyone's race. So if you like something, have a play, but Bezecchi on top for me in that one, in what is a very, very open race. Now let's have a look at Heat 3 on the card. An amazing field again. We talk about the talent in WA, and this is highly represented in this heat alone. West on Smoky on the red, great last start winner, very capable off this draw, looks very, very obvious as one of the top selections. Emerald Guard loves Mandurah. We know this greyhound absolutely thrives down over the 488 at Mandurah, puts himself into this race highly. Sunset Tyson, well, we talk about this greyhound regularly. Tyson does what Tyson wants. When he gets it right, he's very, very tough to beat. Which Tyson will we see on Saturday night? Your guess is as good as mine. Arbolino, capable off the 5, will need to find its way into the race though. And Sunset Nightjar, I really reckon this greyhound is a big smoky in this race. If you can get each way odds, definitely have a play on this greyhound. I think it's got the early pace to almost lead, depending on what a few of these inside runners do. But if it does happen to find the arm or sit very close, it's capable at best of really performing well. So my on-top selections are going to be West on Smoky and Emerald Guard in this race, purely because of recent form. Tyson, like I said, keep him safe, but Nightjar is the one that I really think if you can get each way odds, depending on what the market presents, I'd be having a play on Nightjar as well. So in what is a fantastic Peter Thomas series and should culminate in a fantastic final coming up after these heats, for a man who was a legend of the sport in terms of being a vet and a well-known person around the greyhound community. This race is a tribute to that person, and as someone who knew Peter Thomas quite well, it's fantastic that we have such a race named in honour of the man. Well, let's have a look at tonight's card and find us a winner. We're racing down at Mandurah. First race, 6:52 p.m. I'm going to go race 2, number 1, Elita 1. Now, this girl, she came across from the east. She didn't go brilliantly at her first start, but I think tonight's the night. She's got box 1. She's got a race that looks very, very suitable for her. She's just got to use that box to her advantage. If she can do that, I think she can get the money for us. So race 2, number 1, Elita 1. As I said, first race, 6:52. Make sure you check it out. Now, if you can't join us during the week for all this fantastic greyhound racing action, be sure to tune in next week on the Wednesday Preview.